Okay, now we're gonna get a little more into what I'll call pro branding. If you need to stop where we were, that is perfectly fine. Where we're gonna jump into next, unfortunately, is gonna cost some money and definitely take some time to do. And these are not things that are necessary to do right away, although it's important for you to know that these are part of the process of branding. So again, you might stop where you are, but keep watching the video because I want to plant seeds for you about the things that you should know you need to have in mind moving forward from here. And that can mean, for example, that you could save the funds to be able to do these things, or at least you know in your mind. You might even be able to learn some of the legal things that you'll need to do on your own, and it just will take some time. So keep watching the video so that you can kind of hear what these other things are. But know that the things we've talked about already are things that you can go ahead and start to implement now. So the first thing I recommend in the pro branding phase is to trademark your brand. The way you do that is to go to the USPTO, the US Patent and Trademark Office website. Read everything, and this is why I said that this part just takes some time. Unfortunately, it costs money and it takes time because there's a lot of information for you to learn. So again, even if you might be a year or two away from actually trademarking your brand, you want to start to understand how you do it right away. And so give yourself the challenge of maybe reading, I don't know, a page of the website a day. They also have helpful videos from the USPTO, but learn how to trademark. And then when you can, and when you have the funds for it, trademark your brand. Trust me, you will be glad you did it. Trademarking has to start off with making sure that you're not trademarking something that somebody else has already thought of. So even in those early stages when you're thinking of your brand, make sure you Google it, make sure you know that nobody else is already using it or might have a claim against you. But this is a place where you can also search. So on the USPTO website, you can search for the brand name that you have, the idea you have, and you can see who already has a brand that maybe is close to that name. So this is a great way to find out how feasible it's going to be. Also, as we said in the beginning, if you already are putting your brand out there on social media, someone might come to you and say, hey, it's called a cease and desist. Stop using this brand. This represents my brand. If that happens to you, go to the USPTO website and find out what you can do about it. Unfortunately, if somebody has already trademarked it, you probably can't use it, but it's better to know that early on so that you can start to shift. For a long time, I thought about calling my production company TJL Productions. That already existed. I wasn't trying to get in a fight with anybody. Plus, it didn't exactly say what I wanted it to say. So True Jula was perfect. I looked it up, Googled it, didn't see anything that might cause a problem with it. You should be doing that too. So go to the USPTO website and start to learn how to trademark your brand. You are also going to want to be able to protect your personal assets. And the way you do that when you have a business or a company is to create a corporation so that anything that happens through your business or company, if something I so don't want, I'm not putting this in the universe for anything to happen to you or to me, but if something were to happen, your personal assets, if anything that you have, no one can go after those things. So you want to have a brand, a corporation, so that if something should happen, you are personally protected and someone can only go after your brand legally. This again costs money because what you have to do is to make sure you are creating your company in a legally sound way. So you can learn how to do it. There are websites that are there to help support people who maybe you don't have the funds to hire an attorney. You can learn how to do it, but it's really time consuming And if you have the time, you should take the time, even if you're going to hire someone, to look through these websites and make sure you know how you are creating a corporation for your brand that's going to protect you. But if you can, this is another place where you should save money and utilize that money to hire an attorney to help you create your brand. It probably is going to cost you somewhere between $1,000 to $2,500 to have an attorney create the corporation for you. It's going to have tax implications for you. It's going to have legal implications for you. So you want to ask somebody who knows what they're doing and hire someone who knows what they're doing to get this for you. And the process can take a good 1 to 3 months or so. And this person actually can also help you with the USPTO to see whether or not someone already has that brand. It's an important and good process when you're ready, but make sure that you have legal expertise, whether you learn it yourself or you hire someone, which is probably the better idea, to help you make sure you have an established corporation. Now, once you have that corporation, you also need to understand the financial obligations that come with having the corporation, namely an annual fee to the state you live in. So I'm in California. It's an $800 per year fee to have this corporation. You should make sure you know what the fee is. And then, of course, you also have to pay taxes. So if you are, and I hope you are, let's say when you are making money with your company, with your production company, you are going to have to pay taxes on that money. You're probably going to have to pay city taxes, state taxes, and federal taxes, which takes me to the next point. You should have an accountant. I know, again, this is where gets so tough for so many of us to be able to afford to have all these different folks working on our behalf, but you have to work your way to this, and when you can, it's really important. So USPTO trademarks, then making sure somebody helps you create your corporation legally, an attorney, and an accountant. Okay, so let's recap what you need to brand yourself as a producer. So start off by having a really clear idea of what kinds of stories you want to tell. Who are you as a producer? What's your brand as a production company? What genres are you going to help uplift? How are people going to watch your content? Is it going to be on social, on YouTube, on TikTok? Is it going to be an indie film? Is it going to be a huge commercial film? How are people going to take in your content? And then go with that one-liner, 1 or 2 lines describing what you will be doing. What is your brand? What is your production company all about? Take the words that you use for that, the descriptions that you use in that one-liner, and create a visual representation. This is the fun part. Create a visual representation of your brand. Who are you? What kind of stories will you tell? What colors represent that? What descriptions represent that? What words, if you want to use text? Make sure that that looks good on social profiles, as a newsletter header, on merchandise, on t-shirts, on mugs. Make sure it's going to look good everywhere that you want to put your logo. Create your logo, get help with it, or do it on your own. Set up those social profiles. Start telling the world all about your brand. Listen out in case there's someone who says, I've already got this brand, what are you doing? Maybe you need to change your brand because somebody already has that idea. This is a place where you can start to think about how you refine your brand and make it unique to you and legal. And then for the pro branding, go to the USPTO website, make sure this brand does not already exist, and then make your brand. Read all about it. Take your time on that website to really understand the steps that you need to take. Once you've done that, or at the same time, get an attorney or learn how to do this, but make sure it's legally sound, how to create a corporation so that you're doing everything on the up and up. It's all legal, and get an accountant to help you understand how to make sure you are paying all the fees that you need to be paying, especially once you make money. When you start making money, it's wonderful, but you are going to have to pay some taxes on that to state and city and local. Make sure you're doing that. And now you've got your brand. Look at you. It's amazing. It's awesome. Help us change the way stories and storytellers look coming out of Hollywood or wherever you are, coming out of Atlanta, Chicago, Detroit, wherever you're telling stories. Help us broaden the stories we're telling by creating your brand. You got this. Please add comments, questions in the comments. Add any questions you might have or things that you've learned around branding so that we can share it with everybody. I can't wait. I can't wait to learn about you and your brand. You've got this. My name is Fanchon Cox, and this is the True Do Low YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. And we'll see you in the next one.